Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you one of the most powerful and secure templating technologies in the Adobe Experience Manager ecosystem, which is called HTL, or you can also say HTML template language. For those of you who have been working with AEM, you might have heard HTL referred to by its former name slightly, but regardless of what you call it, HTL represents a significant leap forward in how we approach templating in AEM applications. So before we dive deep into HTL, let me ask you a question. How many of you have struggled with XSS vulnerability, which is called cross-site scripting vulnerability? In or you found yourself mixing business logic with presentation code? So well, HTL was designed specifically to solve these exact problems. So we'll review the what is HTL, what is key features, its syntaxes, and we'll cover each one. Okay. So first of let's understand the foundation of HTL. Let's start with the fundamentals first. So HTML itself is just a markup language. Okay. So it's static. It doesn't process logic or handle dynamic content. This is where template languages come into play. You might have heard about Zinza template. We use Jinja template in a lot in Python or Django. That is also used in Ansible, I believe, also. Okay, so think of it template language as the bridge between your static HTML structure and your dynamic data. They allow you to inject variables and conditional logic and create loops, all while maintaining clean, readable markup. Okay, so let me know if you have any question or concern around it so far. All right. So moving further, as you can see by the definition, STL is stands for HTML template language created by Adobe itself, formerly known as Sightly, is Adobe's preferred templating system for AEM. It's a secure, logicless templating language designed specifically for HTML output in AEM applications. Right. So if you go by this definition, what is how you understand it. So HTML itself is a markup language, as I told you earlier, not a programming or template language. Okay, so as you know, it's a static in nature. So if you have to produce some dynamic content in your website, how you gonna use it? Earlier there was JSP pages. If you have heard about Java server pages, right? So so J- HTL comes after JSP. HTL has many benefits as well. Plus, it has automatically resolve the XSS vulnerabilities. So, HTML template language generally refers to template engines that allow you to combine static HTML with dynamic content using variables and logic like condition or loops processed either on the server side or the client side. These engines enable developer to generate dynamic HTML output while keeping the markup structure clean and maintaining separation of concern between presentation and business logic. Fantastic. So I can say like two major thing it handles. First is like it automatically resolves the XSS vulnerability, cross-site scripting vulnerability, and then it separates the presentation and business logic. All right. You can see here HTL key characteristics. HTL is the preferred and recommended system for HTML in AEM. HTL gets compiled into Java Servlets. Then HTL gets evaluated entirely server side. Nothing remains visible in the resulting HTML. When you inspect the element, you'll not see the HTL. You'll see the output only. We'll see later in this chapter. HTL enhances site security by automatically applying context-aware skipping to all output variables based on their position in the markup. And most important, HTL provides automatic XSS protection. cross-site scripting protection. I hope uh, I'm clear till here. Let me know in the comment section if you see any issue so far or have any question in mind. Okay, so moving further, to create dynamic HTML content using template, you use various template languages or template engines that are part of the other programming environment. Okay, these languages use special syntax to embed dynamic content within the static HTML structure. All right, so first understand how the web pages look like. So there will be, first of all, like, there will be a front end and the back end. All right, and then similarly there is another concept called client side and server side. So anything which you are, which running in the user's browser, often as part of front end framework. For example, you can say like React, Angular, embedded JavaScript, handlebars.js. These are client side. Okay. Then second part comes server side. These run on the server and generate the final HTML before sending it to the client. Client, you can say here as the browser. Okay. So here in the example section you can see like Django template language. Okay. So we use Jinja too. Then we have HTML template language, JSP, right? And there are multiple other template language as well. All right, we'll see the key features of HTL then. First, it's a security first design. It gives you automatic access protection. It also gives you context aware output escaping and no direct JavaScript execution in the templates. All right, then comes the logicless philosophy. It clearly separates presentation from business logic, encourages clean separation of concerns. It You can write your business logic in Sling models. We'll also see, if you're interested, please write in the comment section. If it all can be done in the HTL, then why there is need of Sling models, right? If you can present the dynamic content in the using HTL language, then what the need of Sling models? Think of it and let me know in the comment section what you feel. Then in the third section, it's HTML friendly syntax. It's a valid HTML5 syntax, work with standard HTML editors, easy for front end developers to understand. All right. Let me know if you have any question or concern around here, and we'll go slowly. There's no need to worry or move fast. We'll go with this slow speed pace, and we'll take any answer. Take any questions. And pardon me, guys, if you are, getting my syntax sometimes incorrect. But believe me, I have tried my best to give you STL in the best possible way and easy way. Okay. So here's where STL stands apart from other templating solutions. Adobe didn't just create another template engine, they created a security first, logic less system that compiles directly into Java Servlets. Okay, so what it means, let me emphasize that this key point. STL gets evaluated entirely on the server side, right? By the time your HTML reaches the browser, there is no trace of STL syntax left. This is not just elegant, it's a secure. Okay, now let's review its security story. Like, when we speak of security, this is where HTL truly shines. Every single output variable gets context aware escaping automatically. What does this mean for you? Context aware escaping. It means XSS production is built in, not an afterthought. When you write this line, properties dot title or properties dot user input, HTL does not just dump the content into your page, it looks at where that expression appears. Is it in HTML content, in an attribute, in a URL, wherever, and applies the appropriate escaping automatically. Okay. Okay, so let's deep dive into STL syntax and features. STL uses data-sly attributes, like here you can see, that follow HTML5 standards. Okay, these attributes are completely removed from the final output, so your markup stays clean. The beauty of this approach is that your templates remain valid HTML. Your front-end developers can open these files in any HTML editor and they will work perfectly. No more trying to edit templates in specialized IDs, right? Now let me show you how this works in practice. In AEM, you'll typically use STL in three main scenarios. First, like common templates. These are your building blocks. Every component you create will have an STL file that defines how it renders, right? Then second comes page templates. This defines the overall structure of your pages, including where components can be placed. Then third comes navigation and utility components. These handles cross-cutting concerns like menus, breadcrumbs, and headers. Okay, sorry. So here's something crucial I want you to remember. STL works best when paired with Sling models. Never put business logic directly in your STL files. Instead, create a Sling model to handle data processing, then use STL purely for presentation. Never mix presentation and business into a single section. This separation of concern is not just a best practices, it's essential for maintainable code. Your Java developers can focus on the Sling models, while your front-end developers can focus on the STL templates, and both can work efficiently. Alright, I hope this makes sense. Okay, so we can see we have already covered here, and suppose I want to give you one example like how it basically covers. Like when we define the STL like this properties.title, it basically gives you the title of this page. Suppose the default title is here, so in the inspect element it will not be visible as properties.title, it will be visible as title. All right, and STL uses data-sly attributes that are removed from the final output. So like you can see data slide test and properties dot show content. So if the content is true, then only it will show, otherwise it will not appear. You got my point? Like if it is properties dot title, so if the title exists, then only it shows the content. Similarly, you can give review the other options. Here you can see context aware escaping. STL automatically applies appropriate escaping based on context, which we already discussed. And here like the component templates which we were discussing just before. Then page templates, then navigation templates which we discussed. Then comes like conditional content. You might know WCM mode, which is used for like you can edit use the WCM mode as edit, preview, and publish. So suppose that if you edit one page and you want to preview it, so you can use the WCM mode and preview section. And similarly you can view, use the HTL language and this content will only show in preview mode and it will not appear in any other mode, right? Similarly data slide test. So I'll attach this deck with the video section. You can download it and you can review it at your own pace. Alright guys, so like best practices we already discussed, like never mix the presentation logic with business logic, always separate it. Okay, so that Java developers can focus on Sling models and front-end developers can focus on HTML templates. Like here is the example of Java Sling model which you can see. Then comes like HTL template, then like leverage context aware skipping. Similarly, you get the template structure. Okay, now comes like HTL versus other templating systems. So earlier we were using JSP. So advantages over we'll see advantages over JSP. So it is like it provides better security as we discussed. Like it automatically provides XSS protection, cleaner separation of concerns, more maintainable code because Java developers can write their own code, front end developers can write their own code, and better tooling support as well. Okay, advantages over JavaScript templating: server side rendering, better SEO, integrated with AEM's component system, and automatic caching as well. We'll review it later on. Here comes like integration with editable templates. So okay, there is one topic coming in my mind. Like you might be thinking, like wondering how STL compares to JSP or JavaScript templating, right? Let me be clear. STL was designed to replace JSP in AEM environments. Compared to JSP, STL offers better security, cleaner syntax, and better separation of concerns. Compared to client side, JavaScript templating STL provides server side rendering, better SEO, and seamless integration with AEM's caching system. Okay, so guys, STL is not just a templating language; it's deeply integrated into AEM's architecture. It works seamlessly with editable templates, experience fragments, and personalization features. This integration means you're not just learning a templating syntax; you're learning the recommended way to build AEM applications. Okay, so the key takeaways I want you to remember are: security is built in, not bolted on. Separation of concerns is enforced by design, right? Integration with AEM is seamless and powerful. The learning curve is gentle for anyone familiar with HTML. So if you know the HTML, you will be good in writing the HTML templates. To wrap up, HTL represents Adobe's vision for secure, maintainable, and efficient templating in AEM. It's not just about writing templates; it's about writing better, safer, more maintainable application. I encourage you guys to start using HTL in your next AEM project or start exploring HTL. You'll quickly discover that it's not just a better way to write templates, it's better way to think about presentation layer architecture. Okay? So thank you for your attention and I'm happy to take any questions you might have about HTL or its implementation in your AEM projects. Okay? So just last takeaway, HTL is the modern recommended approach for templating in AEM because it provides security, maintainability, and integrates seamlessly with AEM's components architecture. It also encourages best practices and makes template more accessible to front-end developers while maintaining the power and flexibility needed for complex AEM implementation. I hope I was able to clarify what STL is and what are its benefits, its key takeaway. Okay, so thank you for your attention. It was lovely speaking with you guys, and needless to say, I'll definitely try to improve more in next coming videos. Till then, please support me and have a good day and happy learning. Thank you. Bye bye. Cheers.